Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Namaskar. We will be continuing with our discussion on the sales organization, which is a part of the second module of our course on sales management. We have already discussed a few things on sales organizations in lecture 9. We shall now be continuing with our discussion on sales organization and concluding it in this half an hour. So, the various topics which we cover under sales organization are the meaning and purpose of sales organization, formation of sales organizations, sales organization structures, field sales organization. Out of these, we have already covered the first two in the previous lecture, lecture 9. We talked about the meaning and purpose of sales organizations. We also spoke about the formation of sales organizations. In this particular lecture, we shall be dealing in greater detail on the various kinds of organizational structures, and we also will speak about the field sales organization. Now, a quick recap on what we mean by a sales organization structure. The sales organization structure, which is actually a part of the bigger organization, identifies how the various positions or how the various posts in an organization are arranged for the achievement of organizational goals and objectives. So, in simpler words, it is a chart which will indicate the grouping of activities into positions in a structural form, and it will clearly mention who reports to whom. So, we have the clear cut depiction of the reporting relationships, of the superior subordinate relationships, and also providing for mechanisms of coordination and control. Many organizations have hybrid organizational structures, which we shall talk of, to meet their own needs, and these hybrid organizational structures are those which take into which while they are being structured, they do not follow simple product based or geographic based or market based structures. They are combining two or more of these together, such that there is a subordinate who reports not to one superior but to two superiors. So, as organizations become more complex, many organizations adopt the hybrid organizational structures to meet their respective needs. So, in any case, the organizational structure clearly tells us, depicts to us the various positions, the reporting relationships, and the various roles that people are to perform. Now, it is actually a structure through which functions of sales management are carried out, and it helps managers, it helps executives to carry out their functions more effectively and efficiently, without any chaos, without any confusion, without any duplication of activities, and the people can work better and they can achieve their sales, their profits, and their market share. Now, the basic management concepts which relate to sales organization, in fact they relate to any kind of organization, are: 1, concept of centralization and decentralizations; 2, the degree of specialization; 3, the line and staff functions; and the 4th, which is coordination and control. So, when we talk of centralization and decentralization, it is a matter of whether the number of levels in the organization structure are few or many. In the case of centralized structures, especially which are more useful in smaller organizations, there is one person who actually is able to control many positions under him, or many jobs. He handles several of the activities, and there are large number of people reporting to one, which means that the number of levels in the organization also reduce. But in the case of decentralized structures, there are many levels. Reporting relationships are several layers of people support. Superior and subordinate reporting relationships exist, and power in decision making is something which is very decentralized. The degree of specialization would also determine whether organizations follow adopt highly specialized roles and encourage growth of specialization. The line and staff functions clearly spell out those functions which are important and critical for organizational objectives to be achieved, and those which are support functions, and of course we also have mechanisms for control. So when we talk about this the type of sales organization structures, we'll deal with the line sales organizations, we'll talk about line and staff sales organizations, and we'll talk about functional sales organizations. Now in the previous lecture, if you recall, I did speak about the line sales organizations, where it's more of the superior issuing orders and directives, and the people at the lower level are supposed to abide by them. The line and staff roles are where there is a staff or a support activity in the form of people who help the line, and in functional sales organizations these are highly specialized roles which are given importance. So let us first talk about the line sales organization. Now these are the simplest and the oldest organizational structures, and if we go and if we look at them here, they are where the chain of command runs from top to bottom. So you have here a general manager, and under him you have the sales manager, and then you have assistant sales manager, division 1, division 2, division 3, division 4. So the assistant sales manager of the 4 divisions reports to the sales manager, and under the division 1 the sales division manager for assistant sales division for 1 has several sales people reporting to him. Similarly, assistant sales manager division 2 has sales people reporting to him, and assistant sales manager division 3 has sales people reporting to him, and assistant sales manager there's an office staff which handles the office staff. So you have these different levels here, where salespeople for a particular division report to the assistant sales manager for that division, and the assistant sales manager for the different divisions reports to the sales manager, and the sales manager is under the general manager. So you see here what we have is that there is a chain of command which runs from top to bottom, and the executives exercise line authority, and the subordinate is responsible to the person at the next level. Responsibility is fixed and is suitable for companies where and this particular system is suitable for companies where the salespeople directly report to the chief executive. So you have the salespeople reporting to the divisional sales managers, and the divisional sales managers the particular area, assistant sales the assistant sales manager division 1 is in charge of salespeople under him. The salespeople for a particular division report to assistant sales manager division 1, and then the assistant sales division manager 2, 3, 4, 5, so forth, they may report to the sales manager, and the sales manager reports to the general manager. So responsibility is fixed totally, reporting relationships are clearly defined, there is a chain of command which runs from the top to the bottom, and it is widely used in where the number of salespeople are few, and the clear cut responsibility is demarcated, and higher executives exercise this line authority, and the people at the subordinate is responsible to a person right above him. So this is what we have as a line department or line sales department organization. Now what are the advantages and disadvantages of the line sales department organization? So advantages are, it is very simple to use. As a department department members will report only to one supervisor, so there are no problems or no confusions with respect to who has to report to whom. They all know that they have one boss and they must report to this boss or to this supervisor. So problems of confusion are minimized. Clear cut definition of authority responsibility. So clear cut delegation of authority, defining of roles, responsibilities, and this saves time with replacement of administering changes. Also close relationships can develop because the superior has a subordinate and the subordinate reports to the superior. So there is close ties between the both of them and relationships get forged. Also administrative expenses are low because there is lesser chances of duplication of activities and any chaos. There is better optimization of resources, and so administrative expenses are low. But there are certain disadvantages of the system as well. A lot depends upon the head. The head must be highly capable to manage the whole department. Because of huge responsibilities, he may not be able to devote much time to policy making, and there is narrow scope for poor planning. So he a lot of responsibility for the division lies with the in charge of the division, or the sales in charge of the division. He must be very highly capable of managing the whole department. Because he has huge responsibilities and he has to deal with many salespeople, he may not be in a position to give more time or give much time to policy making, and so there is narrow scope for poor planning activities. Now we come to the other one, which is a line and staff sales organization. Now line and staff sales organizations are found in medium sized firms. They are also found in large sized firms where there are large number of employees, and it provides to the higher sales executive a group of specialists, like people who are trained in logistics or in accounting or report generation, or sales promotion experts, or sales analyst experts. So because of delegation of authority, top executives get more time for crucial planning. The branch head also gets time for planning. He can he can actually contribute much more to the planning activities. And sales executives do not have authority to issue orders, and staff suggestions are shared with the top management. So we have this kind of a structure here, where you see that there is the vice president in charge marketing, and he has under him the manager in charge advertising, general sales manager, and manager market research. Now the general sales manager has with him people who are specialized. There is a director of sales training, there is director or sales personnel or HR. He has assistant sales managers or assistant general sales managers. He has assistant to general sales managers. He is sales promotion manager, and then he also has somebody taking care of the dealers and distributors. And the assistant general sales manager then has district sales managers, 6 of them, and those 6 of them then they have their branch sales managers, and those which may be another big number, 30, 32, 40, depending upon the size of operations. And then the branch sales managers, 32 of them may have their own sales force or sales team, which may be many. So in this case, what happens is that the assistant general sales manager has district sales manager, branch sales manager under him, but he also seeks help from other staff specialists, whether in the HR function or in the training function or in the sales promotion function, or even somebody dealing with the dealer and distribution network. So here we see that there is a line which is selling, but is also assisted in a big way with the staff functions which are very, again, a little specialized functions. So what are the advantages here? Superiors are relieved of from detailed work, and so they can focus more on strategic planning. The experts in the form of the staff provide a lot of assistance to the field people working in the in the sales function. So experts offer assistance in specialized fields. Subdivision of activities into these specialized verticals can improve function. It also allows senior management to take a broader picture or broader overview of the department. However, there are disadvantages of the system as well. Staff members are burdened with a lot of responsibility. The people from the division, people from the branch often contact them, approach them for different kinds of help and assistance, and and so administrative expenses are huge. Also, without close control, targets may not be achieved, and without proper coordination there may be any chaos at the specialist level, and hence control mechanisms are strongly required. Then we come to the next, which is the functional sales organization. In the functional sales organization, what we see is all specialists have functional authority. So clear-cut verticals, salespeople receive instructions from several others who are specialized in their own different areas, and so this is the kind of structure which we have. So there is a in charge or a director of sales administration, and he has people sales training, sales supervision, sales promotion, dealer distribution network, and manager of sales personnel. So the manager of sales personnel has his sales people, and if you see here, installation and service manager deals with different sales people. Managers of sales training again deals with different people. Manager of sales supervision again deals. So there is a cross and a huge amount of interdependence and cross reporting relationships, often leading to kind of both pros and cons of this system. So advantages are it improves performance because specialized activities help in improving performance and effectiveness of the sales force. It makes sales operations highly centralized, creates better efficiency, effectiveness. But the disadvantages is that it's not suitable for small structures or for medium sized organizations, and because this kind of an administrative level will increase cost, and it may not be wise, it may not be very efficient. So also centralized sales operations in large organizations may make the system very inefficient. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of functional type of sales organizations. Now we come to the next topic, which is field organization of the sales department. And the field organization of the sales department relates to the management of field operations. So it actually deals with people who work away from the home offices and are stationed in different territories in different fields, and it will include employees who are sales supervisors, traveling sales supervisors employees. They travel a lot, they do not work in the home office. So it will include people who are traveling sales supervisors, employees, clerical staff in the branch, in the district offices, and it also include people who are involved in after sales like service, repair and promotional activities. So the fields organization of the sales department will comprise people who work away from the home office, and they would include both people who are traveling, whether it is sales supervisors or sales people. It will also include the office staff in the various branches in the various sales districts, and it will also include people in charge of after sales and local promotion. So there are two main objectives of having a field sales organization. One is to facilitate the selling tasks, and two is to assist salespeople in achieving their goals. So the main activities which are performed, or main responsibilities which have to be taken care of by the field sales organization is, one, to facilitate the selling activity or the selling task, and two, to assist the salespeople in achieving the goals or the various goals. So the factors which influence the size of the field sales organization will be the number one, the size of the organization and the scope of its operations. Two, the relative emphasis that is placed on personal selling. So especially this has implications in the B2B and B2C scenario. It will also depend upon the extent of operations, the geographical of the company, and the geographical spread of the customers, whether it is in a state or across states, within a country or across countries. The desired frequency of sales calls, actual customer base and potential or prospective customer base. So both actual and prospective or potential customers, the size of that customer base of actual and potential will also determine the size of the field sales organization. A little bit about the principles in Salesforce management. So centralization and decentralization. Centralization, everything is administered from central headquarters. They are responsible for Salesforce management, including recruitment, selection, training, appraisals, etc. But in the case of decentralization, it is they are managed at various levels at the different regions or at the different divisions, and they are handled by the branch managers or district sales officers. So advantages and disadvantages, of course, advantages are of centralization. They are good for small companies, but disadvantages are that it's not at all feasible in the case of larger organizations. It may lead to excessive control, and this may lead to reducing the flexibility in operations and delay in decision making. With respect to the decentralization, the advantages are it leads to effective market cultivation of markets. It promotes effective control and supervision, improved customer services, and reduces cost for territorial break-in by allocating same allocations to people from which they belong to. Also lower traveling cost, but disadvantages are it's very costly and not suitable for smaller organizations. Now, what are the different ways or schemes for dividing line authority in sales organizations? As I said a little while ago, companies, when sales organizations are further divided in terms of geographies or product divisions or customer or market channel divisions. So, we will talk about this. A little while ago I did mention about geography being a dominant criteria in structuring your sales organization. Sometimes it could be a product based, sometimes it could be a customer based or market based. I also spoke about the hybrid structure. So, we will go into this in little more in detail. Now, geographic division of line authority is when the selling operations are divided geographically, and it is suitable in conditions where there is a wide spread in terms of customer base. Customers are spread across different geographical territories, and geographic division is first made into regions which are further branched off as branches. Like in our case it may be north, west, east and south India, and then northern India may be further broken into different districts or different branches. Okay, so what we get here is something like this, where you have eastern division sales manager, a central division sales manager, or western division sales manager, and then you have branch heads under them, and then you have sales people. So, in our case, for example, it could be a salesperson at a particular territory reporting to the branch, and the branch manager reporting to the regional office eastern India, and the regional officer east, west, north and south reporting to the national manager sales. Okay, so in this case we have different sales people formed in the north, east and west reporting to the branch heads at the north, west, east and south, and then the branch heads of the north, east, west and south reporting to the division heads at north, east, west and south and so forth, and finally the different divisional managers reporting to the national manager. Now, the second way of departmentalizing or dividing the line here could be in terms of product division. So, the sales tasks are divided among subordinates on the basis of sales operation for various product lines. For example, if there is a company which is into refrigeration and it also makes cooling equipment, or it makes heating equipment, or it makes deals with in terms of cool products which are into temperature control. So, it could be products which are heaters and blowers for for creating higher temperatures, or it could be cooling equipment, again air conditioners or cooling structures for cooling the environment. In those cases, the sales organizations would be based on the product. So, there will be sales people reporting to the branch head reporting to others, but clearly the vertical would be in terms of product. So, there would be a person in charge of cooling, there will be another person in charge of heating. Why? Because the company deals with both cooling as well as heating equipment. Okay. So, the company is dealing with products meant for climate control or for temperature control, and because of this temperature control equipment here, which could be for cooling, it could also be for heating. So, there is one clear cut division in the sales dealing only with the cooling equipment, there is another dealing with the heating equipment. So, here you have, for example, sales manager product 1 and sales manager product 2. So, sales manager product 1 deals with the heating equipment, blowers and heaters, and the sales manager product 2 deals with the cooling equipment, which could be say refrigeration, or it could be air conditioning and so forth, or say other cooling coolers and things like that. So, in this way the division here is product based. Okay. Now, another method or another system which we can have is customer, on the type of customer. So, let us take the same organization. If it deals with cooling equipment, it may have a B2B customer base, it may also have a B2C customer base. A B2B customer base here may be institutional buyers who would want cooling equipments or refrigeration or central cooling for their entire office or for their factory or for so forth. So, in that case, this particular, there will be a sales team and a sales division dealing only with the B2B. On the other hand, there is a B2C segment which also buys refrigerators, or it buys air conditioners. So, in those cases it is going to deal with the B2C scenario, where it is end use, and the sales force here does not deal with the institutional buyers, but deals with the members of the trade channel or the marketing channel with dealers, distributors and stockists. So, here here the customer or marketing channel division, the division of line authority is based on the customer or on the market segment that is being catered to. So we have here where you have salespeople reporting to the branch, and this branch reporting to a particular industry, which is say lumber, as a customer group, or it could be another industry which could be mining as a customer group. So they have two different customer groups which they are catering to, either in terms of customer or in terms of a market segment. So here similarly they could also have a line authority subdivided by type of marketing channel, where the salespeople reports to sales manager chain stores, or the salesperson reports to the wholesaler, or he reports to the institutional manager institutional sales, or the manager export sales. So this is typical in terms of the marketing channel. So we see that what gets emerged is different kinds of structures, whether based on geography, or whether based on product, or whether based on the marketing channel, or on the customer. So this brings us to an end of the 5th lecture on the 2nd module of the course. We shall be continuing with the subsequent lectures. We shall be starting with module 3. The references for this particular lecture: Still, Kandef, Govoni, Puri, Sales and Distribution Management, Pearson, India; Havaldar and Kavale, Sales and Distribution Management, McGraw-Hill Education; Panda and Sehdev, Sales and Distribution Management, Oxford University Press; and Futrell, Fundamentals of Selling, McGraw-Hill Education. I hope you have benefited out of this session. We shall start with module 3 in the next session. Thank you.